Now the gap between Shashi Tharoor and his party Congress seems to widen, this time over the invite to Russian President Putin's dinner at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Amid growing closeness with the Modi government, Shashi Tharoor's presence at the dinner was not a surprise. However, Congress leaders slammed Tharoor's acceptance of the invite when Congress leader and LOP Rahul Gandhi was not invited for the dinner. However, Shashi Tharoor, in an exclusive interview with NDTV's editor-in-chief Rahul Kanwal, said that it is a protocol to invite foreign panel members of the parliament when a foreign dignitary would visit India. Although he did admit that it was in fact discontinued after PM Modi took over, but it has been started again. He also added on to say that the opposition must find a common ground with the government. Remember that Rahul Gandhi had hit out at the government for not allowing the opposition members to meet foreign leaders and even went ahead to call the government insecure.
Lots of chatter also around just your presence here at Rashtrapati Bhavan. I saw a lot of the people were saying there's as much curiosity in your presence as there was in Vladimir Putin's.
No, but the fact remains, Rahul, that for many, many years it was standard practice for the chairman of the External Affairs Committee to be invited to every Rashtrapati Bhavan banquet. I have come to several, particularly up to and including the days of President Pranab Mukherjee. But then there was a change in attitude, I will admit, and there was a disinvitation, as it were, for some years. I'm very glad they restored the practice. I think it's a healthy practice.
You've come back after a while?
I've come back after a while. So for some years, I think that, they had a different attitude. This time, it seems that they have decided to open up a little more to other voices. And frankly, because the relationships with foreign countries are precisely what the Parliamentary Standing Committee deals with, it's helpful to have some insight into what goes on, the conversations, the atmosphere, and so on. So I'm very pleased to be here for that reason. Nothing more, nothing less.
And I agree with the point that you made, that your job is to, make the points of your constituents and not to constantly be in a harangue with the government. I think most sensible people watching this would agree with that.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. That has nothing to do with getting invited to Rashtrapati Bhavan, which may or may not happen otherwise. But the truth is that on the question of cooperating with the government of the day, you don't abandon your convictions or principles, but you find common ground. I mean, part of democracy and part of the cooperation between government and opposition in a democracy is about finding common ground. We disagree on some things, we agree on some things. And where we agree, we should work together.
And interestingly, when you say we don't abandon our convictions, it's suggesting that Dr. Tharoor is not abandoning the Congress party?
Listen, I mean, this is a silly question, Rahul. I don't know why this has to be asked. I'm an MP of the Congress party. I went to great trouble to get elected. And it would take me, I think, considerable amount of thought and various other considerations to be anything else. I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, I have a job to do to the voters who put me here, and I'm doing my very best to fulfill my obligations to them. Even today, in some of the conversations before we all sat down to dinner, I was trying to plug certain things for my constituency with some of the officials I was coming across here from our own government. So that's part of the lifeblood of getting things done for your people, your voters, your constituency. That's political responsibility too.
देखिए थरूर साहब क्या कर रहे हैं क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं उन जाने वो बेहतर जाने मैं तो पार्टी की लाइन का आदमी हूं पार्टी पे बात करूंगा।
बहुत हैरानी की बात है कि जिन्होंने इनविटेशन दिया उन्होंने भी कमाल किया और जिन्होंने इनविटेशन लिया वो भी कमाल कर रहे हैं। सब हर सांसद हो या कोई भी कांग्रेस का नेता हो, मुझे लगता है कि सबकी एक अंतरात्मा की आवाज होती है। जब मेरे नेताओं को नहीं बुलाया जाए और मुझे बुलाया जाए तो जाहिर सी बात है कि हमें भी समझना चाहिए कि क्यों खेल हो रहा है और कौन ये खेल कर रहा है। हमें उस खेल का हिस्सा नहीं बनना चाहिए। अपनी अपनी अंतरात्मा है।